Hey everyone, today we're going to give you 10 really good tips if you're a first time cruiser or if you're a seasoned cruiser, just a little brush up right after this. Hey everyone, John here from Bite Size Cruises. Welcome back to our channel. If it's your first time here, we are a small travel agency. We love to give you great information on cruising. If that sounds good, we would love for you to subscribe and join our journey. It doesn't cost anything. It's free. If you're looking behind me and you're like, hey, John, it looks like you moved the sign up and there's wet paint behind you because you painted there, you would be correct. One of our viewers, Eric, was like, hey, you should move your sign up so you could actually see it. So we did that. I still need to adjust our frame a little bit so you see it better. But anyway, I digress. 10 tips today for first-time cruisers or seasoned cruisers that just need a little brush up. So let's get right into it. Tip number 1, don't worry about cash on board. You really don't need cash for anything on the ship. You don't need your credit card for anything on the ship. Everything will be done through your room. So you will either have a band, a medallion if you're on Princess, a WOW band maybe, a room card, whatever you have that gets you in and out of your room that you hold and you take around with you on the ship. That will handle all your charges for you. At the end of the cruise, whatever credit card you put on file, they will bill that, or debit card, or you could pay cash as well. Once you're on the ship, the only thing you really need cash for is tipping. If you choose to give somebody an additional tip, there is tipping included in your fares that you will get charged every day. You can prepay that as well. But once you get on the ship, all you need cash for is that. You need cash at the ports if you would like to take cash to the ports. Or if you're in the casino, you could also do a room charge there. So there is no real particular need for cash on a cruise. Cruise tip number 2, you need to bring identification. That's going to be in the form of a passport or your birth certificate and a driver's license. Passports are way better. It's easier to carry. You don't want to be carrying your birth certificate around with you everywhere. You could lose it, could get ripped, and they're harder to replace than a passport. Bring your passport. Second tip of that is take a picture of your driver's license front and back and your passport and keep it on your phone. You can't use that as ID, like legally, but if you have it, it's enough sometimes to get you back on the ship if you forget to take your passport off or something like that. So 2 things there. Tip number 3, when you get on the plane, connect to the Wi-Fi if you have a Wi-Fi package, or even if you don't connect to the Wi-Fi anyway, because you're going to be able to download the Cruise Line app and use that even if you don't have a Wi-Fi package. And then turn your phone in airplane mode before you leave the port. This is going to stop you from racking up, roaming charges or any kind of cellular charges. God forbid you don't do that, and then you get out to sea and you start checking your email and you forget. So there you go. Turn your phone into airplane mode. Number 4, be respectful of the volume of your activities. If you've never been on a cruise before, the rooms are very thin. There are little modules, like little snap-in modules almost, that they put into the ship here. So they're metal walls, but they're not very thick walls. So if you've ever had the unfortunate circumstance of being on a cruise and you're right next to like a large family with a bunch of little kids and you can hear the kids screaming and yelling throughout the night, or if you've ever been next to just wild partiers that are drinking and carrying on all night, you could hear that really easily. So be really respectful of sound. The walls are thin. Next up, number 5, cruise insurance. It's literally the most polarizing thing that people talk to me about. One of the most polarizing. Every time I talk to people and I recommend that they get cruise insurance, they think I'm just trying to sell them something that they don't need. The bottom line with cruise insurance is you don't need it until you need it. So I never used to get cruise insurance when I was in my 20s because you don't care, right? You just think, I'm not going to get hurt. I'm fine. If I get sick, I'll be fine. Here's the thing. God forbid something happens and you need to be medevaced off the ship. You're talking about $75,000 to $100,000. God forbid something happens and you're in Mexico. You do not want to have open heart surgery in Mexico. No offense to Mexico, but you want to come back here and get open heart surgery. Also, if you're in another country and God forbid something happens, they will not treat you unless you have cash. You want to get your butt back to the United States. So You need to have cruise insurance. It's not expensive. So I do yearly cruise insurance for all the trips that I go on. It costs me hundreds of dollars. So for your trip, make sure you get cruise insurance. It could really save you thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars. Number 6, be prepared for changes. You're on a cruise ship. You're on a vessel that's going throughout the world in the ocean. Things happen. Weather happens. I was on a cruise a few weeks ago on Celebrity Summit. We couldn't go to Martha's Vineyard because it's a tender port. So that means that you have to kind of take the little boats and go there. We couldn't do that because of the weather. The waves were too high. So it wasn't safe to do that. So we didn't go to that port. Last year in September, hurricane season, we were on NCL Getaway. We were supposed to go to Bermuda and the Bahamas. We wound up not going to Bermuda. We couldn't get over there because of the weather. So what the cruise line did was made it a much nicer experience. We wound up going to Miami and to another port. Things change all the time. Another one last year in November, again, tail end of hurricane season. We were on Anthem of the Seas out of New Jersey. And before we even left, we were supposed to do the standard Port Canaveral, Nassau, Perfect Day cruise. Cruise director came on and said, there's hurricanes down there. We are going to the Dominican Republic. We're going to do a completely different itinerary. You want to be safe. You want to enjoy your cruise. You don't want to be rocking and sick the whole time. So be prepared for itinerary changes. It's not the cruise line's fault. Don't get upset about it. They're trying to keep you healthy and safe. Number 7. This is a really big one. I talked to so many people who tell me, God, I searched 50 or 60 websites to try to get the best deal for my cruise. Here's the bottom line with cruising. Just like every other big industry, it's very commoditized. You're not going to find, you could spend hours and days searching for things. You're not going to find that much of a better deal on any websites. For the most part, they're all going to be pretty much exactly the same. Whether you go to Priceline, Expedia, whoever, pick whatever website you go, or even the cruise lines, right? What you should do is talk to a really great travel agent. There are good travel agents. There are not good travel, just like every other industry, right? If you have a great travel agent, it's not always going to be the deal that they get you. It's going to be the expertise that they bring to the table, the ability to navigate you through circumstances that happen with cruising, with name misspellings, which I've had happen a ton of times recently, with excursions, things that don't go as planned, changing your reservations, a whole bunch of different things happen, right? Also, you want to know these amazing things about cruising. You want to know how to get the best deals, how to find the best excursions. If you find a great travel agent, they're going to help you with that. Travel agents also sometimes have group space. That will get you a better deal than searching all around the internet because they are the ones that know about that group space. So talk to a great travel agent. Don't waste tons of time. You can certainly book your vacation online easily, right? However, having someone that knows the ins and outs of the cruise industry, I think is really beneficial. So find a great travel agent. I'm not just saying you have to use us. Find a great travel agent. There are a ton of them out there. Next up, number 8, transfers from the cruise line are a waste of money. I never recommend that you do transfers. You could certainly do them. They're not a ton of money. Here's my thoughts on them. If you fly into a port and you are trying to use a transfer to get to the airport, from the airport to the cruise, generally speaking, you are going to sit there for an hour because you're going to wait for other people getting off of different flights, all these different things, right? You're sitting there, you're at the mercy of the cruise line, and then it's, you're packed into a little minivan or a little shuttle. It's going to take forever to do it. Same thing with going back. You have to wait for all the different people to get off the ship. Just jump in an Uber or a Lyft or a taxi. You're going to pay pretty much the same amount of money. You're going to be by yourself. You're going to have privacy. You're going to be able to get there right away. You're going to be able to leave the airport, leave the cruise terminal, do whatever you want to do, and go to your destination quickly. That is way better than buying a transfer from the cruise line. Number 9, pick an older ship or go off season if you want a really good deal on cruising. So brand new ships like Wonder of the Seas, soon to be released Utopia of the Seas, Icon of the Seas, any of the new Norwegian Prima or Viva, they're going to be more expensive. There's more of a demand for people to go on brand new cruise ships. If you pick an older cruise ship, you're going to get a way better deal. For instance, the difference between Icon, Utopia, Wonder, and then Symphony is huge. Symphony's not an old cruise ship. It was built in 2018. So look for deals like that. Look for deals on Oasis, on Harmony, on some of the older ships. If you really want a great deal, look for some great deals on the Voyager class, like Adventure of the Seas or Explorer of the Seas, or even slightly newer ones like Liberty or Mariner. So there are great cruise ships out there that you can get great deals on. Also, you can go off season. So one of the things you'll hear people talk about a lot is shoulder season. So those are like the outside season. So early in Alaska season, like the end of May, like a little bit before now, or the end of September. Those are parts of the season that not a lot of people go on those trips. Early Mediterranean season, early January and February for the Caribbean, right? When most people are in school and doing things. Those are great times to find a really good deal. And then number 10, our last tip for today is guest services is always crowded. Whenever you go down there, you're going to see hundreds of people fighting about everything, yelling and screaming, trying to get money back, all those other things that people go to guest services for. If you need to go to guest services, they're open 24 hours a day. Get up super early or hang out late, go to the show, do whatever you're going to do, and then on your way back to your room, scoot down to guest services. Those are our 10 tips for today. We're going to do this every month. We'll do 10 or so tips for new or seasoned cruisers that need a little refreshing. Once again, thanks so much for watching. We would love for you to subscribe to our channel. Check out our TikTok, our Instagram. It's Bite Size Cruises. So we'll see you all tomorrow. Have a great day. Thanks so much. Bye.